Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today we are going to show you guys another Invicta watch. Now, if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys know I've reached out to many companies. Many companies have reached out to me to get better brand awareness or better brand recognition. And a lot of times the watches that I feature are either ones from my collection or micro brand watches. Invicta is pretty much a mainstream watch. I mean, it's a huge company. They're on the shopping networks. They're all over eBay. They're all over the web. So I've never had any kind of agreement with Invicta to actually get fresh inventory to share with you guys. Anything that I've gotten, that I've reviewed that's by Invicta are watches that I've purchased out of my own pocket because I want to have them in my collection. And usually I'll try to buy maybe one a month, maybe one every couple months. Really depends on if I see one that I really like. You know, I don't always just buy one to buy one. Because let's face it, like, I love Invicta, but I don't like every Invicta. You know, everybody has a different style and different taste. So, but with that being said, it doesn't mean that it's not something that you guys would like. So, I've worked a deal with Bulldog Enterprise. He's a very reputable seller of Invicta watches on eBay to get fresh inventory as often as I review. Could be once a month, could be a couple weeks. And the other day, he sent me 10 Invicta watches to share with you guys. So stay tuned for all those reviews, and I'm going to start with one of those watches today. And the one I want to share with you guys today is part of Invicta's Blue Label line. You guys have seen this one before if you follow the Invicta videos that I make. And this is it right here, the Blue Label Sea Hunter 3. Absolutely a stunning timepiece. This is one of my favorite Invicta watches that they make. I have 4 Sea Hunters in my collection: the iridescent, the gold, the silver, and of course the older model, the Sea Hunter first generation with the rubber ring around the bezel. This is a much nicer execution of the Sea Hunter. They did everything right with this watch by adding the crown protector, which wasn't on the original Sea Hunter, and of course adding this gear-edged bezel. This watch, folks, measures about 58 millimeters at the bezel and 73 all the way to the crown protector. It is the biggest watch that Invicta makes. A watch, I mean, it's right underneath this one will be the Grand Arsenal, my favorite Invicta, but this one and the Grand Arsenal are 2 of my favorite Invicta watches. They are just absolutely stunning, and this Blue Label is no exception. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Blue Label, Invicta will come out with these limited pieces every now and then. Sometimes they're diamond encrusted, other times I know they've come out with other ones in the past that were black. Combat editions, that kind of stuff. And this is part of their Blue Label line. And basically the Blue Label is a combination of obviously royal blue and gold. And this is a color combination that I never would have thought I'd want to own. I've always been more of a gold guy, silver guy, but I tell you, as Invicta comes out with more amazing designs, more amazing unique color combinations, the Blue Label is just absolutely one of my favorites. I picked up the Grand Arsenal the other day with the blue and gold and is absolutely fantastic. I have reviewed the Ghost Bridge, but I ended up returning it because it's just a little bit small for my taste, and for the price, I'd rather have had the larger the larger Grand Arsenal. So let's talk a little bit about this watch. Now, this watch is unsized, and I'm not going to be sizing this one because you know, I don't want to damage a watch in any way, because it does have to go back to Bulldog Enterprise because they're going to sell this. So I take great care in treating this with kid gloves. And so, but I am going to show you guys what it looks like on the wrist, but I'm just going to have to kind of hold it on the wrist, which is a little different than I normally do, but we're just going to have to deal with that. And then we're going to show you guys some watches that I don't have in my collection that you guys might want to pick up from Bulldog Enterprises. So I'm going to put the watch down for a second here. I was going to tell you a little bit about the specifics, and I'll show you some close-ups, then we'll throw it on the wrist, and we'll call it a day, okay? So, and before I even begin, I want to thank, I don't know if he wants me to call out his name, not in a weird way. But I just want to say I want to thank Bulldog Enterprise for their generosity in working with me and sort of sponsoring this video with nice, fresh Invicta inventory. Like I said, today I've had no affiliation with Invicta. I just love the product, and I hope that this is a win-win for the both of us. So, all right, guys, let's talk a little bit about the watch. This one is powered by a Swiss Ronda Z60 Swiss-made quartz chronograph movement. It is 58 millimeter at the bezel, 23 millimeters in case thickness. It's not the thickest watch that Invicta makes. The thickest one they make is the Hydromax, but it is the second thickest watch that Invicta makes, and of course the largest. So if you combine those two measurements, the 23 by 58, it is a tank of a watch. Definitely not one to be worn for 24 hours. I mean, depending on your body type. For me, if I wear it that long, I start to get a little bit of irritation on this bone right here on the wrist, but I can get 8 hours out of it, no problem. So again, 316L stainless steel, part of the other specifications. It is plated with this blue, royal blue plating. We'll look at that in just a second. Complications are at the 3 o'clock, perpetual seconds, at the 4 o'clock, your date window, 6 o'clock, your 30-minute, and at 9 o'clock, the day of the week. The dial material is an alloy on this. It's using the Flame Fusion crystal, which is something that's proprietary to Invicta. It's kind of a hybrid between a sapphire and a mineral glass crystal. They treat it in such a way where you kind of get the best of both worlds. Of course, that is arguable. You know, I've never scratched a crystal period on any of my watches, so never really a huge concern. 30 millimeters in band width, 8.5 inches in length. So if you have a huge beefy wrist, you can wear this naturally, or if you have a little 7-inch wrist like myself, you can pull it off as well. And the weight on this is 17 ounces, unsized, over a pound. It is a tank of a watch. And your clasp on this is your classic Invicta deployment. And what else? It's got push-pull with function pushers. Now, one thing to be noted on some of the newer Invicta watches coming out, such as, at least I can guarantee, on the Sea Hunter and, of course, the Grand Arsenal, depending on which one you get, Grand Arsenal? Actually, no, the Sea Hunter, just the Sea Hunter 3. I can tell you that some of the ones I have actually have screw-down crown and function pushers. This one does not. Neither does my iridescent. So they're kind of creating these watches. I'm not going to say they're cheapening them, because unless you're going to be diving with it, it's not really a huge concern. You're still getting 600 feet or 20 ATMs of water resistance on this, or 200 meters. That's still a lot of water resistance, but on the original one, with the screw-down function pushers and crown, you're getting, I believe it was 1,100 or 1,200 feet of water resistance. So nonetheless, just one thing to know, when I first got my iridescent, I thought that there was a problem with the function pusher, until I realized that they changed the design. So, you know, I mean, nothing really to worry about on that, unless you're going to be going deep depths with this thing, and I don't really recommend it because it's going to weigh you down. But I'm not a diver. I don't buy these to dive. I don't use these as tools. I buy these as decorative fashion pieces, you know, that, you know, accessorize my outfit, compliment getters. I mean, match this up with a great bottle of cologne and you're set. So, all right, so let's take a look at the face. You can see the different complications on this here. Unidirectional rotating bezel, and this is the crown protector on the Sea Hunter 3. Again, same function pusher and crown as on the original Sea Hunter, with the addition of that function pusher, or I'm sorry, the crown protector, which is a great design. Not only does it give more beef to the watch, but it also protects that crown. You know, it is a heavy watch. This does protrude out a little bit. If you were to whack it on something, you could possibly damage it because of the weight of the watch. So it's nice that you have that protection there. On the Sea Hunter 3s, you have that gear-edged bezel. This is a change they made with the Sea Hunter 3, and I've named it Sea Hunter 3. So if you search for this watch, the Sea Hunter 3 name came from me because they call it second generation, but they've already made this watch in a second generation. It just wasn't really all that popular. So you had your original one, your second generation, which actually was a cheaper entry-level one, and then this one. So technically, Invicta calls it Generation 2. I call it Generation 3, and Invicta just drives me nuts with their different names. I mean, just like the Arsenal, it's Grand Octane, Grand Arsenal, it's a Reserve, now it's a Blue Label, and same thing with this. It's a Sea Hunter, it's a Sea Hunter 3, it's a second generation Sea Hunter 3, it's a Reserve, then it's a Blue Label. So, I don't know why they just don't stick with one name. And which is always weird with these watches, is that you have a model number and a name, but you don't have the name on the actual watch. Or I'm sorry, you do. Sorry, on this one you do. So on the clasp, you have the Invicta logo naturally, and then you have the shark, which is the traditional Sea Hunter logo. Oh, and then if you were to get one in Coalition, then it's a Coalition, so it gets a little confusing. For you guys who love to hear the click of the bezel, nice and tight bezel, no play in this whatsoever. For those of you who sit back and say, oh man, turn the bezel on a Rolex, you'll see the difference. Nope, I don't think so. And then on all the Sea Hunters, you have a combination of mirror polishing down the center of the band, and of course this brush finish everywhere else on the watch. Except for the actual top of the bezel, which has got a little bit more of a matte finish, a little bit of lume on top of the bezel and lume on the indices. And of course those indices, hands, and markers are all done in that yellow gold. Great color combination. It's a big timepiece. It's a beefy timepiece. And if you're looking for the biggest watch Invicta makes, you got it right here. Absolutely stunning, guys. So this watch right now, we're getting closer to Christmas, so you know this thing is starting to sell out. The blue labels are not going to stick around very much. They're very beautiful and they're going quick. If you want to pick this up through Bulldog Enterprise, he's got one left. You do get a discount, it looks like. I don't know if it's with all his listings, but if you buy one, this can be had for $430. If you buy two, obviously he doesn't have two in stock, but I'm sure with other, I would think with other different watches, if you want you know, get two different types of watches, I would assume you still get that 10% off. But don't quote me on that. Go to the listing, check it out, and if you want to make a purchase, definitely do it through my links. I'll take you directly to his store. First link is going to take you to this particular watch. The next link will take you to his store. You can check out all the different Invicta models that he has. I am working on possibly getting the eBay coupon code that might give you maybe 5% off. We'll see what he wants to do on that for any kind of referral. But yeah, guys, awesome seller, great guy. Very reliable, fast shipping as always with eBay, and guaranteed brand new in the box. He's been in business for a very long time. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and throw it on the wrist. Now once again, as I always tell you guys, I am 5'7.5". And I weigh about 170 pounds, and I have a 7-inch wrist, so all these watches, especially this one, look massive on me. And if you're a big guy, you know, people tell me all the time, oh man, you gotta be a big guy to rock these watches. No, you don't. You could be whoever you want to be and rock these watches. Even on a 6.5, 7-inch wrist, they're gonna look even bigger, which is awesome. And you know, if you're a big guy too, same thing. So again, sorry for the little bit of slack here. We're just gonna have to deal with that. I'm not gonna size each watch for the video and then put them back together with the risk of scratching one. Absolutely beautiful. And if you know, if the blue label's not your thing, this watch comes in a bunch of different colors: gold, black. I mean, Bulldog Enterprise has pretty much all the colors this is available in for the most part. You know, again, depending on stock levels, but the blue label ones are not going to last, guys. This is definitely something you need to pick up. Holidays around the corner. If you want to get this for a special gift for yourself, I definitely recommend this one. You know, it's something that I wish I could have every Invicta that they make, but you know, I'm not rich, so I'm working stiff like everybody else. Just a chunk of a watch. This is a great watch. I mean, blue jeans, you got it, you know. I mean, just absolutely perfect with blue jeans. You really can't go wrong with this blue label line. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any questions whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask. I put up a Patreon page, so this video is going to be the first one loaded to Patreon. If you want to have an ad-free experience, $2 a month will get you that. There's like another tier if you're interested in that as well. Totally up to you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, Bulldog Enterprise, thank you very much for your generosity and sponsoring the video and sending me these watches to share with my subscribers. If you want to pick it up, click the links in the description. Check out my other links for the social network pages that I have. And of course, check out the Patreon page as well, guys. Alright, folks. Have a wonderful day. Take care. And keep rocking those Invictas.